Hi there, my magical star beings. This is Psychic Siren Tarot, and welcome to the channel. In today's reading, we're going to be taking a look at what do people find intriguing about you. So please be aware this is a general reading. Only take what resonates and leave the rest. I'm now going to show you your crystals. So for pile 1, we have Amazonite. And we have the card Crystal Keys. For pile 2, we have orange calcite. And we have the card Life Force Energy. And for pile 3, we have Rose Quartz. And we have the card Water with the Overflow. So I'm going to give you a few seconds to pick a pile. Pick whichever pile you're most drawn to, the one that is calling out to your soul the most, and that will be your pile for today. But of course, if you're drawn to more than one pile, you're all more than welcome to pick more than 2 or 2. Okay, so once you're done picking a pile, please find the timestamps for your pile in the description box below, and then I'll see you at your reading. Hi there, my pile number ones. If you chose this Amazonite crystal and the Crystal Keys card, this reading is for you. We're going to be taking a look at what do people find intriguing about you. Please be aware this is a general reading. Only take what resonates and leave the rest. So with the Crystal Keys card, I'm feeling so far this energy where people find it intriguing how you deal with your emotions and how you find some kind of wisdom from that. And that's what I feel so far from this card, because I feel like you're my pile of people with really healing energy since you chose the Amazonite crystal. The Amazonite crystal is really healing energy. I'm noticing this fish here. Some of you may have Pisces energy or 12th house energy, just for some of you. But I feel this energy where you are comfortable with your emotions and you learn from them. You gain wisdom from them and you grow from them. And that is what people find intriguing about you, because this is what this Crystal Keys card talks about. With all these little wisdom codes and these bubbles, it talks about how sometimes we can find the most healing, like the Crystal Keys. We can find a key to healing by taking a trigger, an emotional trigger, which is an intense emotional reaction to something, figuring out the root reason behind it, learning from that emotion, and then we can find a key to healing. We can find a wisdom code from that emotion. So I feel this is somewhat what you do. And that is what people find intriguing about you, how you're so comfortable with your emotions and how you learn from them and grow from them. And I think we as a society sometimes shame ourselves for having certain emotions, but you don't. You're very comfortable with it. And that's what people find intriguing. Like, how did this person become like this? How did they learn this wisdom from their emotions? How did they grow? How did they heal? And with 22 here, there's something where you always seem to be at the right place at the right time. And that's something else people find intriguing about you. You could have this crystal-like energy that makes people feel good on the inside. Like, I don't know if you've ever held a crystal and felt its healing energy or felt like tingles all over. I feel like that's how people feel when they're around you, like they're around this crystal. So let me go ahead and pull some more cards and see what else people find intriguing about you. So I will be revealing all the tarot decks and oracle decks I use at the end of the reading. So spirit guides on my pile ones. What do people find intriguing about my pile ones? We have acceptance. At the back of the deck, we have patience. Okay, so spirit guides on my pile ones. What do people find intriguing about my pile ones? We have you got the love with Hadarian energy, codependency, and boundaries. We have an extra card that wants to come out, surrender to the sweetness with Venus energy, pleasure, joy, and make love to life. Okay, at the back of the deck we have empathetic starseed with energetic sovereignty, absorbing what's not yours. So far from your cards, I feel this energy where you are very empathic. You can have this ability to heal people's emotions, feel them from them, but also provide wisdom and healing for them. I feel like some of you would be great psychologists, emotional healers, spiritual healers. You have that healing energy is what I see here. If you never knew about this, I guess this is just what people feel off your vibe, that your energy feels very good, but I'm seeing it's healing. So this empathic nature you have is a beautiful ability, because I feel like you can pick up or sense things from others in their emotions and how they're feeling, if they're not okay, perhaps intentions from them. And there's something that you mirror back to others with this empathic ability. I think in the past you were very codependent, or you were learning to stand on your own and not have to kind of like absorb other people's emotions. You were learning energetic sovereignty, which is basically the energy of like, this is my energy, this is my feelings, that's your feelings over there. Do you get what I mean? A lot of empaths have to learn this ability to not separate from our abilities, but to work with them in a way that serves us, that doesn't drain us. Okay, so I feel you had to somehow learn to not be too codependent on others, because I feel like you've always been a loving person, but I feel like this is something you either have learned or are learning, and you're learning to put in more boundaries. You're learning to do things for you that you long for, because you matter too. And I feel like this ability to not only be empathetic and be there for others, but also be there for yourself is intriguing to others, because they may have seen you in the past and how you acted, or how you were in general, and now they see some kind of difference with you, where you are setting up more boundaries, where you can see, okay, if this person is feeling this, it has nothing to do with me. So this is the energy I feel here, and it's like people find it very intriguing how you came to this point where you can have that balance of loving others but also loving yourself. Because I feel you're very loving people. And that's also what intrigues a lot of people, because the way you love is just open and it's amazing. The feeling I get here too is, since you mirror a lot of things to people, a lot of people find you intriguing in general, because either they think you're very similar to them, or they think you're very different to them, but then it's actually being mirrored back to them. A quality or trait that they don't see in themselves. So that's something I see. And then they get very intrigued by you in some way. But I'm also seeing this energy where, since you love so hard, since you may be on your healing journey, you may have not had people around you, like certain people that didn't appreciate the love you were giving, the big love you were giving, and you had to learn to have some boundaries and to stick up for yourself and to speak up for yourself, and to not let people hurt you in that way, or take advantage of you in that way. So there is definitely this more balanced energy now where you have love for others, but also love for yourself. And there's a certain intrigue people look into you with when they see that perhaps you've been hurt before in terms of love. It doesn't have to be romantic, but I'm seeing this energy and you healed from it, yet you came back stronger as well. But what is intriguing to them is how those people could not accept your love, how they could have someone that loves in such a huge way, but still not, appreciate it. So that's something I see. And I feel like with all these lotus flowers here, you've grown so much into the best version of yourself. You took your pain and you bloomed. And that's what people find intriguing, how you did that. But also how you love with this very big love, the sweetness. And you make everyone around you feel so joyful, like this Venus energy. With Venus energy, you could also give off a lot of beauty, because Venus is a planet of beauty, love, pleasure, money. So you could have all of those things, and people could see you as quite the catch, especially in terms of love, but not just romantic love, all types of love. So people think that you're very sweet and that you have all these qualities and traits, and they find it very intriguing. But also how you can look at your emotions, but also people and their emotions, and just have full acceptance and love. Unconditional love. So this is what I feel here. I'm going to pull some more oracle cards and see what else your spirit guides can show me. But I feel like the type of love you give is very big. It's very unconditional. It's very patient. It's kind. It's accepting. You don't, try to change anyone or try to change yourself for the matter, or how anyone or yourself is feeling. You just accept it. And that is a very beautiful thing. So that's something I see. Since I woke up, I heard that song by Beyonce. The one that's like, it's the one thing that got me tripping. I feel like that song is for you, because there's one thing about you that got people tripping. The way you love, and how you love so big, how you love so sweet. You must be from my pile the other day where I channeled that song Sweet by Tyler, the Creator. And that's what people find intriguing, because it's like, you're quite a catch to have as a friend, as a lover, as just someone around them. And it's kind of like you have many things about you that has people tripping, because they never thought that was like real out in the world. So that's something I see. So spirit guides on my pile number ones. What do people find intriguing about my pile ones? We have the butterfly maiden with transformation. You are experiencing enormous change right now, which brings great blessings. And we have focused intention. Keep your unwavering thoughts, feelings, actions focused on your target, and you will make your mark. I feel like people also find your beauty intriguing. Since I said Venus energy, I really feel that strongly. Like, when people see your beauty or how you look in general, regardless of your gender, there's something about them finding intrigue in you, wanting to get to know you, especially strangers, and that's something I see. But you also have this very humanitarian kind of vibe to you, where you like to help others and help the earth. You may be my pile of people that really cares about the animals, the earth, things like that. And that's something I see that people find intriguing, how you care so much for everyone, even people you don't know. And that's something people find very, very intriguing. And I feel like the way you love people, they can never stop thinking about you ever again. Like, even if you're long gone out of their life, There's something where they can never stop thinking about you. You're always at the back of their mind. There's always something, like I said, that song where I said, it's that one thing that got me tripping. So it's like you have that one thing to you, or many things to you, that people can't seem to let go of. But also people find it quite intriguing how you've transformed yourself, how you've become the best version of yourself. And this transformation process you went through wasn't easy, because the butterfly first starts off as a caterpillar, and then it goes into its cocoon, and then it struggles out of its cocoon. But that struggle creates its ability to fly and have beautiful wings. So you've gone through that whole transformation process within yourself, and people are seeing how you are changing for the better, how you are transforming for the better, how you're becoming the best version of yourself each and every day, and forming them as you go, but also accepting perhaps the old versions of yourself that never knew better, forgiving and loving the old versions of yourself that weren't transformed. So that's really beautiful, and that's what people find intriguing, because I don't think you can say that about many people that have gone through that. Okay, and also when you want something, you focus your intention on it and you are going to get it. You're very determined, and that's what people find intriguing about you. You have this kind of gentle strength to you. So, spirit guides of pile 1, what do people find intriguing about my pile 1? We have the Empress. What did I say with the Venusian energy? Your beauty makes people intrigued. But not just your beauty. I think you have this very go with the flow type of vibe. Very Venusian loving energy. And that's what people see. And I think a lot of people are generally attracted to you and find you intriguing in that sense, where they want to get to know you in like a romantic way. Because we have the Four of Cups at the back with a person on a date. So that is what I see here, and people find it intriguing the way you love, because they want to be a part of that. And I'm not just talking about romantic love, I'm talking about like even people that want to be your friend. But you may also be someone that has created abundance for yourself with the Empress. You may also be someone that is in that energy of creating your reality, because the Empress creates. She's that divine feminine energy. And of course, divine feminine energy doesn't relate to gender, but there's something about you that is so... It's like the sacral chakra energy of creation and pleasure and joy and love, while the heart chakra too. So that's something I see here as well. I feel like also, since she's holding grapes and she's lying down there on this swing, there's this sort of playfulness to you too. Kind of relax, go with the flow energy. You take pleasure in life in the little moments, and you really take in each moment. You have an energy quite like Mother Earth. Very beautiful as well. So I see that, and I see this energy where you're always growing as well, because the Empress is number 3. We have the King of Wands. So what people find intriguing about you is your ambition as well. That fire within you that can never go out. Because like I said, when you want something, you're gonna be determined to get it. So not only are you very comfortable with your divine feminine energy and that energy of flow, being receptive, taking in the pleasure of each moment, feeling that love fully, feeling deeply, but also the masculine energy, the divine masculine energy of action, sacred action, inspired action, but also maybe you even protecting yourself by setting boundaries and speaking up, but also how you go after what you want. So you're very balanced within both energies, and people find that intriguing. But it's giving me like boss energy, this King of Wands card. It really is, because look at the way this person's dressed. But since she's wearing yellow in this card and the King of Wands, I see this as you may also be this happy-go-lucky soul. And with all this fire energy, you have this fiery side to you too. Not just this Venusian loving side, but also this fiery side to you where you are really going to go after what you want. And you have this sort of passion towards life, passion towards the things you do, your hobbies, your goals, your dreams. And that's something people find intriguing, how you have the motivation to keep going, but also the determination. It's like, if I had to look at you, I would probably wonder, do you say affirmations in the morning? What do you do to keep so motivated? Do you like rest? Do you keep going? Like, that's the feeling I'm getting. Like, other people are looking at you and wondering how you do it. And they're like, I want to almost take inspiration from that person, but I also want to learn from them and understand how they do it. Do you get what I mean? So that's something I see here. I'm going to look into your tarot cards now. So Spirit Guides of Pile 1. What do people find intriguing about my Pile 1s? We have the Hanged Man. We have the Seven of Wands. We have the Six of Wands. We have the Knight of Wands. What do people find intriguing about my Pile 1s? We have the Ten of Wands. We have the Four of Pentacles. So there's so many Wands cards here. Some of you may also be fire signs or Venus energy as well. Libra, Taurus. We have the Ten of Pentacles. We have the Eight of Swords. And lastly, we have the Two of Swords. So I just want to analyze these cards quickly and see what Spirit is showing me here. At the back of the deck, we have the Five of Cups. Okay, so what I feel here, we have the Knight of Wands. Spirit is really drawing me to this card first, the Knight of Wands, and all the Wands energy. People may be very intrigued by this fiery side to you, this feisty side to you. Because with the Seven of Wands, it seems you are protecting yourself in some way. Like what I said earlier with boundaries and things like that. With the Eight of Swords here right opposite it, I feel like maybe in the past you never knew about it with the Eight of Swords. But perhaps you were disappointed so much by, other people's choices. And I feel these are people that are not in your life anymore, or these cycles have already ended. But you were carrying a lot of other people's things with the Ten of Wands here, right opposite the Two of Swords. What I mean by this is, let's say, for example, someone disappointed you and did something really wrong, made a choice that really hurt you. Because the Two of Swords talks about choices. You may have carried that for them, or you may have internalized what they did and took it as maybe like, what is wrong with me that they chose to do that? Do you get what I mean? Or You may have internalized, what people have said or done to you. And with the Ten of Wands right opposite the Two of Swords, I see this energy where you started analyzing what you've been holding onto from others with the Four of Pentacles. Because I feel you're very empathic, and sometimes we unintentionally or unknowingly carry other people's shame, guilt, sadness, things like that. I don't know. Sometimes it's also projected onto us, and we unintentionally carry it for them. But I see you analyzing the things you've been holding onto, and it's like you put it down and you're like, I'm no longer holding this bag for them. It's theirs to keep. Let me give you an example of this energy. So, since we have the Ten of Pentacles here, I'm going to use family as an example. I'm just going to use a silly example so that you can understand the energy I'm talking about. But let's say you have a sister and she's always stealing your clothes out of your wardrobe. It's just a silly example. And she's always stealing your clothes out of your wardrobe. Every single day she's stealing your clothes, and eventually you look back at your closet and you're like, where did all my clothes go? And she stole all your clothes, and you go to her closet and you're like, all my clothes are here. Like, what? Or you see her starting to wear your clothes and things like that. And let's say you go to her room and you confront her and you're like, why are you taking all my clothes? Because I now like literally have nothing to wear. I'm taking all of this back. And then she's like, let's say she makes a petty comment like, oh, I look better in them anyway. And then we internalize that and we're like, okay, then maybe she should take all the clothes because maybe she does look better in them. That's just a silly example, but of course that's not what I meant at all. I'm just using an example of how sometimes a person's actions or choices can make us internalize that, or the things they say, like, okay, maybe she is right, and then just like allowing them to do that. Do you get what I mean? Or maybe an internalization would be like, okay, but I never said anything, so maybe I deserve that. Or I don't know any other examples, but do you get what I mean? I hope I'm maybe even explaining it correctly. But the feeling I get is other people said or did something and you carried it for them. And now you started analyzing that and you were like, hey, this isn't actually mine. This isn't actually my emotion. This isn't actually my thought about myself. This isn't actually true. And I see you started taking that bag off your back and putting it back by them. So there's something about that. You may have carried other people's beliefs that they projected onto you. You may have carried things other people did or said to you, and then you started letting it go one by one. And people find that very intriguing because they can see the way you have changed, the way you've transformed. Also in your self-love journey with the Empress, where you are no longer carrying other people's BS. You know what I mean? And I see that very strongly. So people find that very intriguing and they're like, how did you come to this place where you no longer are responsible for the way other people treat you or other people's emotions or things like that? And, you've started taking the blindfold off and seeing that in certain times we need to protect ourselves with boundaries with the Seven of Wands. So it's like people look at you and they're like, how did you come to all these realizations? How did you all of a sudden not see this and then start seeing it? Do you get what I mean? So this is what I feel here, and I feel you've transformed in your sense of self. You've transformed in the way you deal with others. You seem more self-sufficient, more confident in yourself. And you seem to know yourself a lot better, but you also seem to be able to stick up for yourself more, whereas in the past you couldn't. And you also seem to be like that energetic sovereignty energy I spoke about in the beginning. Like, that's your emotion, this is mine. You're responsible for your emotion. I'm not responsible for your emotion. Do you get what I mean? So you could have in the past taken it on, but now you don't, and people see the way you've transformed in the way you approach people, in the way you talk to people, in the way you interact, and there's a major change or difference in your energy. And that's what people find intriguing, because it's like, how did you realize all these things? How did you get this knowledge? I know we don't have any cards about knowledge, but I'm feeling that energy. Like, how did you get this knowledge? How did you be able to see this? But with the Hangman, I feel like some of these painful emotions with this Crystal Keys card taught you to see it differently. The painful emotions taught you, and that's what people are intrigued by. They showed you a different perspective than what you had already knew. Okay, so that's what the Hangman is all about. Sometimes things like that show us different perspectives, our emotions. Like, for example, let's say you were giving to people, and you noticed that it wasn't being reciprocated and it disappointed you. Then maybe that disappointment showed you a different perspective of self-love. Do you get what I mean? So this is the energy as an example. And I feel like you're very ambitious. You're very focused on where you need to be and where you want to be. And people see that determination to create success in all aspects of your life with the Six of Wands, but also how you've created success in all aspects of your life already, how you've already grown, how you've already achieved a lot, and how you're really, really happy with the results. And I don't just mean career, I mean your goals, the things you want for yourself, your self-love journey, your transformation, your growth. People see the success of all of that, and they find that very intriguing, because there's like questions in their mind, like, how did that person get there? How did that person have all that ambition, all that determination to get where they are today? And with the Ten of Pentacles right opposite the Six of Wands and Knight of Wands, I feel like people are going to see you, or already starting to see you, as someone that, you know, has enough to create generational wealth, because the Empress also talks about abundance. And that's what people find intriguing as well. So I guess this is all I have for you today, my pile number ones. This was a really beautiful reading. I really hope that this resonated. Before I go, actually I forgot. I want to tell you the decks I used. So this was the Ethereal Visions Tarot, this tarot deck. And then this was the Beyond Lemuria Oracle deck. This is the Starseed Oracle deck. This is the Mermaid Messages from Mermaids Oracle deck. This is the Goddess Guidance Oracle deck. And this is the Vanessa Tarot deck. So I just wanted to say all the card names, because I've noticed a lot of you ask about the decks I use. So So this was your reading. I really hope this resonated. I'm sending you all my love, and if you did like this video, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I can't wait to see you in my next reading. Bye! Hi there, my pal number twos. If you chose this orange calcite crystal, this reading is for you. We're going to be taking a look at what people find intriguing about you. So you chose the Life Force Energy card. Please be aware this is a general reading. Only take what resonates and leave the rest. So with the Life Force Energy card and the energy I'm feeling so far, when people see you, they find you to be very energetic. And that's something that they find very intriguing, because there's this energy where you just seem so energetic, so full of energy. And like, that's the feeling I get if I had to see you. It kind of reminds me of Donkey's energy, and I'm not being mean, but Donkey was really, really cute because he was like always excited about little things, and he had this playful type of personality to him, and he was always full of energy, but Shrek was kind of grumpy. So I don't know, you may have people around you that are intrigued by this, like how you have so much energy. Like, what do you eat? Do you drink 10 cups of coffee? Like, that's the feeling I get from you, that people find intriguing. But also just your playfulness. You seem to have this very light-hearted personality, this playful personality that people find intriguing. But you're also really, really wise and intelligent, but you don't take life too seriously at the same time. So that's something people find very intriguing, and I feel like you have very bright personalities, bright, colorful personalities, and you show that to the whole world. I feel like Spirit is showing me the peacock clairvoyantly, and the peacock stands out with all its beautiful colors. And we see all these rainbow colors here. I feel like you have that rainbow energy, or a very bright energy that people see. A very colorful personality, and people find that very intriguing. Like, how are you so happy all the time? How are you playful like this, but also intelligent? How do you not take life so seriously? And that's something I see here. So I'm going to go ahead and pull some more oracle cards and see what else shows up for you. So spirit guides on my pile twos. What do people find intriguing about my pile twos? We have breaking free. So similar to pile one, I feel you've been on your healing journey and you've been breaking free from things that aren't for you. You know, you started really thinking about what is for you and what's not for you, and it's like, okay, I want to move forward to better. I want to have hope. I want to get better. Okay? I feel like some of you were waiting for someone, or waiting on communication for someone, from someone, and maybe you noticed that it wasn't for you in the first place, or you started breaking free from situations that kept you stuck with this octopus, you know, hanging on her. So I feel you took that out of your life and you started moving forward and contemplating, is this actually for me or is it not for me? And that's something people find very intriguing, because I feel this energy here where ever since you did that, ever since you started breaking free from the things that kept you stuck, you look much happier in your life. And maybe that's why the Life Force Energy card is here, because you maybe went through situations in your life that were so painful, that kept you stuck. And now you still move forward and you still found that happiness and joy within yourself. We have abundance at the back of the deck. So you found what was valuable to you, and you let go of what was not, what was just holding you down. And that's what people find intriguing about you. Because it's not just that you found the valuable things outside of you, you found that treasure chest within you. And I feel like you stopped relying on external things to make you happy. And you just started being more of yourself in the world as well, more of your authentic self in the world. And that's what people find very intriguing. So what do people find intriguing about my pile number 2s? We have star bathing with light body crystal grid, transmission, and activation. We have the golden children with inner child, tenderness, innocence, and rare gifts. I feel like your energy is very similar to pile 1, but different as well. So if you were drawn to pile 1, you're more than welcome to watch it. But I feel here you're very empathetic like pile 1, but you also have your own unique energy too. I feel like some of you started healing your inner child with breaking free in the golden children. You started healing your inner child and healing that innocent part of you that didn't deserve to feel those certain emotions surrounding that. I feel some of you have passed on loved ones that have been helping you heal your inner child. And I'm actually seeing something quite interesting that I never knew was possible. I'm seeing, as an example, my grandma's here. I must be part of this pile. And she's showing me an example of her to explain the energy. She's showing me she is one of the passed on loved ones that is here. Some of you may have grandmas that pass on, but she's showing me how some passed on loved ones will take care of that person's inner child in the spiritual realms. That inner child spirit version of us. Because you know how we have like time does not exist. It's like all over the place in the spiritual realms. Like everything is happening at once. So there is like different versions of ourselves. Do you get what I mean energetically? And I'm seeing some of your past on loved ones take care of this inner child version of you and give your inner child version of you what you never received, but you are also starting to do that. Or you have also been doing that for yourself, reparenting that inner child version of yourself, healing the heartbreak associated to your inner child, and letting that inner child play again, letting that inner child have fun again, letting that inner child free to explore the world. Maybe some of you have even been going back to things you loved to do as a child and doing that as inner child healing. And if you haven't, maybe that's a sign to do that. But I also feel like some of you have been unlocking rare gifts and talents within you that you maybe never knew you had, or maybe you had them at some point, but let go of it and refound it, rediscovered it. So that's something I see here, and it's like you have been activated for something bigger as you've been on this healing journey. I see your guides standing around you while you sleep and healing parts of your soul, healing parts of your energy, but also activating certain parts of you. Because I feel you have a very big mission in this lifetime, a very big purpose with your gifts and talents. And I see some of you have gifts lying dormant within you that I spoke about, like the treasure chest within you that is waiting to be found. But right now I feel you're on the journey of letting your inner child play, letting your inner child be free through you. Some of you have been giving your inner child the childhood you wanted now through you. So I don't know if people know you're healing your inner child, but people see this inner child energy coming out of you. They see that imagination, that playfulness, that carefree energy of like not taking life too seriously, being playful again. And that's something they find intriguing because it's not often you see that in adults or young adults or teenagers where they're still connected to that part of themselves. A lot of us, switch off that inner child version of us when we become adults and we forget about them. But they're meant to live through us as well. So I see that, and I see people find that very intriguing because not many people are like that. So, spirit guides of pile twos, may I please look into what people find intriguing about them? We have medicine women with you are a channel for divine healing power. A lot of you have healing gifts. And people feel that energy off you. And then we have prosperity. The universe is pouring out its abundance to you. Be open to receiving. So it's interesting that we have the prosperity card. And at the back of the deck, we have home. So it's like you've been creating a safe space for yourself, for your inner child, a home for your inner child, a home within you, a home within your home. You've been taking baby steps towards creating safer spaces for yourself, for your emotions, okay? But also, I feel when this healing comes to a point where you are ready to move on to the next phase of your journey, because I see different phases of your journey. You're going to move into this phase where your life completely changes and you start reaching the potential that others see within you that you may not see within yourself. And people may find that very intriguing because they see that full potential in you, but it's like you're still finding that within yourself. With the prosperity card next to the breaking free card, I feel like underneath all this healing is you finding that abundance, that prosperity within your soul. Okay, so that's something I see here, but also this energy of you having a lot of healing energy. And people feel that off of you when they're around you. Because I feel this energy where you're very comfortable with your emotions. You don't shame yourself for having them. And when you're around people, you'll actually see that they will start healing things themselves without intentionally doing it. So, like, let's say you visit someone, for example, and after you go home, let's say they haven't processed or dealt with something, because your energy is so healing, they will start maybe crying about that situation that happened 10 years ago. And then it's like people find it very intriguing because your energy is so healing that I don't think they quite fully understand it, but there is this intrigue here, like what happened? Like what is going on? Because every time I see my pile twos, somehow my feelings start to come out, but also I start feeling freer after I feel those feelings. More happier, more lighter. Like even when I talk to my pal twos about my feelings, they make me feel very comfortable. Like I can just feel it and let it free. And then I start feeling lighter, like that energy. We have the Temperance card. So yeah, I feel like you have this energy of being able to alchemize people's energies. And we have the Wheel of Fortune. You have a great, great, great purpose in this lifetime that is going to bring you a lot of prosperity and abundance on your path as you take baby steps towards there. We have the Three of Wands at the back of the deck. And I think a lot of people can see that you may have talents or gifts that will bring you a lot of prosperity and abundance. But also maybe that you have some kind of big fate that is waiting to be unlocked or found. By the way, I will list all the oracle decks and tarot decks I use in this reading at the end. I'm now going to pull some tarot cards for you. So spirit guides on my pile twos. May I please look into what do people find intriguing about my pile twos? We have the World card. All of a sudden, my ear started hurting very painfully as I pulled this card. An ear is about listening, hearing, and pain is not good. So you may have had people say really mean or nasty things to you that your inner child is now healing from, or you are now healing from. But also ending cycles of that with the World card by deciding to not pass down that same cycle to your children by being mean to your children or angry at them, saying really mean things to them, or just people around you as well with the World card, because I see this energy where you may have been hurt in the past with the Breaking Free card. You may have been stuck in scenarios or situations that really left your heart feeling dented, and it's like you saw the pain others put onto you and you decided not to pass those same cycles onto others and become like them, but become better and learn from their mistakes and end that cycle by healing yourself and not passing it on to others. And that's what I see there with the World. So that was very intense, that feeling, but now that I started saying it, it went away, luckily. Okay, so spirit guides on my pile twos. May I please look into what people find intriguing about them? We have the Judgment card. We have the Eight of Cups. I'm hearing that song Happier Than Ever by Billie Eilish. We have the Justice card. And I'm hearing the line where she specifically says, I never treat me that shitty. So I'm feeling the pain again. We have the Ace of Swords. We have the Ten of Swords. I guess this is what you're breaking free from, Ten of Swords energy, because it fell on this card. We have the Eight of Wands. We have the Nine of Wands. And we have the Three of Wands. At the back of the deck, we have the Star. So I feel here from your energy, why people find it intriguing is because a lot of people start to subconsciously become the person that hurt them. But you chose to see it in a different perspective, see your past in a different perspective, and see it as, I'm walking away from this with the Eight of Cups by healing from this. I'm leaving it behind. It's vanishing, it's diminishing, it's disappearing as I heal it. And it's no longer there. Yes, it may be in a painful memory of mine. It may have been a really challenging moment in my life that kept me stuck, that made me feel like the universe was just shooting arrows in my back. I don't know. It made me feel like really down, like that type of energy. And with the Ace of Swords, it may have been challenging for you mentally to deal with and to process the memories of that. But then with the Justice card, I feel like you're honest with yourself and you're fair as a person. You've decided not to put that pain onto others by healing yourself. And somehow, what people find intriguing is how you're walking away from the past, how you're healing the past, alchemizing the past, and walking away from it. Walking away from people that hold you down or create challenges in your life or just are not good to you, make you feel stuck, and you're learning your self-worth by doing so, taking back your power by doing so. Okay, and I feel here this energy where you're very, very intuitive with the Justice card and the owl there. Because owls represent intuition. You can see right through a person, and that's also something people find intriguing about you, because I feel like some part of the painful things you've went through, some of it was, I'm hearing hypervigilance, like some of it made you hypervigilant where you were able to start to pick up on other people's emotions, moods, and things like that in order to protect yourself in the past. And now that blossomed into sort of like a gift, but I also feel you have intuitive gifts where somehow it made your intuitive gifts stronger, but there's some part of you that is letting go of that hypervigilance now in this next journey or phase of your life and saying, it's okay, we're safe to let go of this now. So that's something I see, and people find that very intriguing about you in terms of how you became so intuitive and psychic and be able to feel other people's intentions and see right through them. But also how you've managed to stay truthful, genuine, honest, fair, and balanced, and also patient and loving. Okay, and how you still have like this energy of having this energy of being brave and strong enough to heal this. I'm looking at the sword here, and it kind of reminds me of that movie. I think it's King Arthur, I'm not sure. Where there's a story where a person picks out the sword from the rock, and the sword is really huge, and they need to be really strong to take out that sword. And I'm looking at this crown here, and I feel like that sword is the healing. It's very heavy. It's not easy to take out of that rock, but once you do that, you get crowned with something. And I feel like people are seeing you in that state of taking that sword out, and they're like, wow, 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 like that's so huge. Do you get what I mean? It's very challenging, but it's huge. And somehow you are putting that crown back on your head by doing so. Taking your power back, changing your fate around with the Wheel of Fortune. It's like you've changed your fate around by not repeating those cycles or staying stuck in those cycles, and by leaving it behind, but also moving forward to bigger and better with the Eight of Wands. And of course, we can't erase those memories of the past, but we can move forward. But we can move forward and create new memories and still have hope for the future. And that's also what people find intriguing, how you're still able to stay happy and playful, how you're still able to continue your journey and continue staying strong as you walk your path, but also how you still have hope, how you still believe in love, how you still believe in miracles, how you still believe that the best is yet to come. Okay, so I see that energy very strongly. So this was your reading, my pile twos. Before I leave you here, I'm going to tell you all the oracle decks and tarot decks I used. Okay, so firstly, this is the Beyond Lemuria oracle deck, this card in the middle. We have the Messages from Mermaids oracle deck. We have the Starseed oracle deck. We have the Goddess Guidance oracle deck, and we have the Vanessa tarot deck. And then this here is the Ethereal Visions tarot deck. So this was your reading. I really hope this resonated. If it did, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I can't wait to see you in my next reading. Bye! Hi there, my pile number 3s. If you chose this rose quartz crystal, this reading is for you. We're going to be taking a look at what do people find intriguing about you. So you chose the card with water, the overflow. Please be aware this is a general reading. Only take what resonates and leave the rest. And I will be listing all the oracle decks and tarot decks I use at the end. I'll tell you all of what I use. So with this water card, you could have a very watery energy. Some of you could be water signs, or you could have water placements, or you could just give off this very cleansing, nurturing, and healing energy all at once, because water has those properties, okay? So you could have an energy very much like that, or a vibe very much like that, very healing and very nurturing. And what people find intriguing about you is that how you have such a healing but also nurturing energy. But also, I feel like with all these arms here, I feel like you've helped a lot of people, or you have been that type of person that has held space for others, many people at once, or many people over your lifetime. You have a very giving and open hand where you can help others, but also hold space for many people at once. Or maybe not at once, but over your life. Because I feel like a lot of people have come to you with their emotions, things like that, and you've been very giving and generous with your time, your energy, your love. And that's what people find very intriguing, because it's like you just have this energy where you overflow with your love. You have this very generous amount to give to people and to those you love around you, and people find that very intriguing, because it's like you never empty yourself, you're always overflowing. You always have more to give generously, and you don't expect anything in return. When you give generously, you just overflow onto others. But also, you have a lot of love to give to others, but also yourself. Because this overflow card talks about how when we pour into us, when we pour into ourselves, we can overflow onto others. So I feel either recently you've started doing that, or you've done that a long time, where you first love yourself. You've been on your self-love journey, first giving to you, then overflowing onto others. And I feel like you teach people that we can love ourselves, but also give love to others. So that's what people find intriguing about you when they see you. So I'm going to pull some more oracle cards. Let's see what else shows up for you. So spirit guides on my pile 3s, may I please look into what people find intriguing about them? We have dive deep. I'm just going to put a crystal over this card because a part of her is showing her nudity. Okay. So we have the card dive deep. And at the back of the deck we have blessings. Okay, so spirit guides on my pile 3s, may I please look into what people find intriguing about them? We have lifting the veil with questioning everything, anything unaligned must go. Okay, and at the back of the deck we have Earth School with life lessons, soul growth, study and higher learning. I feel like you, similar to pile 1, are very comfortable with your emotions, because water also represents emotions. And that's something people find intriguing, because you've learned a lot of life lessons in this lifetime and grown from it. And there's something about that where you're able to dive deep into your own emotions, but also others, and sort of question some things, and what is not aligned must go. So with the dive deep card, you're not afraid to dive deep into your subconscious mind, into your emotions, into triggers you have, and heal that with love. and, be compassionate with yourself for those feelings, and, still love yourself as you are healing, as you are growing. And that's what people find very intriguing, because I don't know why I was even drawn to using the rose quartz to cover her, but I feel you give off that very rose quartz energy of love for yourself and others, even while you're going through really deep emotions or healing. And that's something I see here people find very intriguing, because I think a lot of us sometimes, when we're feeling something really deep, we start to sometimes blame ourselves or shame ourselves for those emotions. And I feel like you somewhat don't do that, or you've learned to not do that and just accept what you're feeling and let yourself feel that very deeply. And I feel like you're also a very deep person in general. You see the world with this depth, you see people deeply, and you see the deep parts of others they may not see in themselves. You may see the potential in others and yourself that many don't see, and you reveal it to them. So that's something people find very intriguing, because as you are diving deep within your own potential, you're also thinking big about your own life and kind of like creating your life as you go along, and questioning what is not meant to be there in your life as you walk your path and as you go along. I feel like you have a very leadership energy, where you show people how to love, where you show people it's okay to feel things deeply, it's okay to let go of things that aren't for us, and it's okay to see our potential and follow that. I feel like some of you have an energy, like a Mintaka energy, so you could relate to Mintaka star seeds. And I feel like there's this energy where the divine is guiding you in some way. But then as you walk your path, others follow suit, and I wouldn't say copy you, but more so find I feel like others find inspiration from you as you walk your path and your journey, because you're very unique, and the type of life you live is also very unique. So you kind of show others the way, but I also feel you have this dreamy vibe to you, this visionary energy to you, where you're very detail orientated. You can see things on a deep level. I feel like some of you would be amazing poets or writers or movie creators or things like that, or artists, because you can see things on a deep level and read between the lines. But you also have this very dreamy, visionary feel to you, where you go after the things you want and you see your own potential. You've awakened to your own potential and gone after the things you really dream of. I feel like you can also see things much deeper than the average person. Like, for example, let's say someone is coming to you and talking about their emotions and their feelings. You can see deeper than they can see themselves. So let's say they're like, I don't understand why I do this specific thing. You can see it deeper and you're like, oh, this and this happened and that's why you do that. And they're like, what? um, so you help people also understand themselves on a deeper level. That's something I see, and you understand yourself on a deep level too. But as you follow that visionary quality you have, you're going to see that you're going to be very blessed in this lifetime. And people also find that intriguing, because they can see that quality within you, and they see you being very blessed in this lifetime as you do this. So, spirit guides on my pile threes, may I please look into what people find intriguing about them? We have boundaries with love yourself enough to say no to others' demands on your time and energy. That's amazing, because you have this ability to not only give generously, but also set boundaries and receive from others as well. And it's like, how are you so generous and so giving and so loving, but you also know your limit? You also know where your boundaries lie. And I think that's very powerful. because you can give love freely and overflow onto others, but you can also say no, and you can also set boundaries and give to you first so that you can overflow onto others. And there's also this feeling of you don't just give generously, you also receive. You're getting into that receptive state of saying, you know, I deserve to receive too, and I deserve that. I deserve to receive from myself too. So that's something people are very intrigued by, because you have this balance for love for yourself, but also love for others, and you put you first. So, what do people find intriguing about my pile threes? We have receptivity with allow yourself to receive. This will increase your intuition, energy, and ability to give to others. Yes, just what I said. And then we have go outside with you have been indoors too long. Go outside and get some fresh air. I feel like you give off this very unconditional love type of energy. You connect to the higher heart chakra, but I feel like you're also very good with children and animals. And that's what people see about you. You're also someone that has a lot of compassion for yourself and others, and you're not only able to give, but also receive, and also set certain boundaries so that you don't empty yourself serving others, if that makes sense. So you have this powerful energy to you. Some of you may be very connected to Egypt, since we see two Egyptian goddesses here. And that's something I see here. I don't know if you feel like you have past lives in Egypt. So, spirit guides on my pile threes. What do people find intriguing about my pile threes? We have the Five of Swords. I feel like with the Five of Swords next to the Boundaries card, you've perhaps had a lot of people take advantage of your kind nature and just kind of like take from you, and you somehow had to learn to strengthen up to be able to not, I wouldn't say not be taken advantage of by others, but care for yourself more and your own time and energy more, so that you're able to give freely to those that do appreciate it. Because like they say, boundaries is the best protection spell. This must be my magical pile since I hear that. But I feel like a lot of people have betrayed you and taken advantage of that kindness and sweetness you have, but you had to learn to pull back a little bit to pour into you first, and not allow people like that into your life. So, spirit guides on my pile threes. What do people find intriguing? We have the Two of Swords. So you started making a decision to honor you with the Two of Swords. The Ace of Cups at the back of the deck. The Ace of Cups is also that cup that overflows. I don't know if you've ever seen other tarot cards. It's kind of similar to this energy here. So the choices you made to honor yourself are a huge improvement, because you started questioning like, okay, so I'm giving to these people, but they're not reciprocating that. Maybe I feel uncomfortable with receiving. Like, what is going on? And then questioning that and saying, okay, maybe I should start setting more boundaries. Maybe I should honor myself more, make a choice to honor myself more. Maybe I should make a choice to receive graciously too when people do want to give to me, because I'm always giving to others, and I subconsciously maybe feel if they give to me, it's like I can't take it from them. But then at the same time, I don't feel like giving to others, they're taking from me. So maybe I should receive from others graciously too. Like when they give me compliments, when they want to pay for me, a friend, or when they want to reciprocate what I already give, maybe I should get into a receptive energy to balance out my energy and build that strength in myself where I can protect my peace too by setting boundaries and honoring myself. And as you had to do that, it's like these people that were going to betray you, that were going to, just take from you and not give back to you, started to fall away. And I also feel like you with this go outside card, we see little fairies here. This is definitely my magical pile. But I feel like you started to maybe notice, I can go outside and interact with people. There's nothing for me to do here where let me give you an example. So let's say before maybe you went out and a lot of people would speak to you and tell you about their feelings, but maybe you didn't have the emotional capacity, for example, to be there for them. So then maybe setting a boundary would allow you to still go outside but not have your energy be depleted. So I see something around that. For my people that kind of have social batteries, that's something I see. But people are also very intrigued by your magical energy because you have this very fairy-like or mermaidy energy, and also very intuitive too. So people are very intrigued by that side of you because you're not afraid to show that mystical side. You're not afraid to show who you really are to the world when you are in the world, if that makes sense. So that's something I see here that people find very intriguing. So I also feel like you're really romantic souls and you have this dreamer energy to you that people are very intrigued by. So spirit guides of my pile number 3s, may I please look into what people find intriguing about them? We have the Page of Wands. We have the Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups right opposite this lifting the veil. You've released certain illusions in your life with the Seven of Cups. And the crocodile there kind of reminds me of the shadow self. So it's like you maybe even started looking at the people around you that were in this Five of Swords energy of betrayal, and where they couldn't exactly give to you maybe the same way you were giving to them. Then you started questioning it, looking deeper into them and seeing that maybe they're not a bad person. Maybe they just don't have the capacity to give the same love you do. And it just means that they're not for you. They're not aligned to you. So you started really seeing who was for you and who was not for you, who was aligned to you. But you started also learning from their shadow selves and maybe why they became that way, why they became so closed off and believed that they had to take from someone to receive. So that's the feeling I get. But also, I feel like you maybe even started learning from your own shadow self or from your own anger. So, when someone pushes our buttons and that anger comes out, that anger is actually trying to protect us. I feel like you started learning from that anger or from that feeling of like, why are you doing this to me? And started seeing that as I need to protect myself in these situations by setting boundaries. So that's something I see. So I see you really learned certain illusions around certain emotions of heartbreak and pain that others have put onto you. But also, I feel like maybe you also started learning where you didn't honor yourself fully. And then you started learning to honor yourself fully, to love yourself fully, to know your worth, because I feel a huge solar plexus healing took place in your life or is taking place in your life currently or has been taking place in your life. So the solar plexus energies are all about our self-worth. Okay, but also that place of us that shines out. So I feel like you started maybe noticing when other people were jealous of you or tried to put you down for shining out, that maybe they had some kind of insecurity within themselves. Their shadow self was just projecting, and it's like you started to learn to not dim your light to fit in, but to shine brightly. I know I'm not seeing the star card here, but I felt a feeling of healing in my solar plexus for you. So you've been going through some kind of death and rebirth, and you started taking off the mask and showing yourself authentically to the world. Whereas others still wear masks in the world. So they find all these qualities and traits I mentioned very intriguing, because it's like you don't have any hard feelings towards the people that have done this. You learned from their mistakes and from their shadows, but you also learned from that inner voice within you telling you to do something about this, telling you to question this, to dive deep within to that feeling and learn from it. Okay? And also learn to honor yourself more. So I feel like that was some type of illusion or chain you broke. We have the 10 of Cups. So perhaps you also started clearing out connections in your life that weren't for you, that weren't aligned to you, and started actually creating healthier connections with the 10 of Cups, with people that were not only able to receive graciously from you, but also give to you in the same amount of love you give back. Reciprocal connections. So the 10 of Cups is a very happy card. It's a very, very overjoyed feeling of happiness and love. So I feel like you started creating healthier connections with people that were able to give back to you. And people find that very intriguing, because it's like, how did this person change so much from once being someone so giving to now they're still that giving person, they're still that generous person, but now they have boundaries, they honor themselves, they know their worth, they know their limits, and they have self-love. We have the Empress card. I feel this is the self-love I'm talking about. You gained self-love and you grew in that type of love where it was more healthy. The love you were receiving but also giving to others, it was more healthy. And I feel like you've always been that lover on earth, but you also started receiving with the Empress, because the Empress is also receiving, receptive energy. And we have the Chariot card. So you went through a major shift in your energy. You changed a lot, but this was a huge shift that happened in your energy, and people started noticing this, especially people that know you, and started to see your growth, how you've been expanding and how you've been moving towards better. We also have the Wall card, so that is the deep energy. You're not afraid to go deep into the depths of yourself, but also see the depths of others. And it's like, maybe your love is as deep as the ocean. So there's nothing wrong with people that may not be able to give the same type of ocean love as you. Maybe they only have a river of love to give. Then they can go to the other rivers. I'm going to go to the oceans. I'm going to have people around me that can be in my ocean and not find it too much, because it's not too much. Do you get what I mean? And I feel like you started seeing yourself differently. Seeing this as a beautiful gift. Because I also feel you're very romantic, and if you have a lover, there's a lot of love you give to this lover, or if you've had lovers in the past, people can see that. We have the Six of Pentacles, that generosity. And we have the Knight of Cups. I feel like you're someone that wears your heart on your sleeve. You're open to loving everyone. And that's what people are so intrigued by, because although you still have boundaries, you're still your giving self, still your loving self. And it's just that you've upgraded your energy to be more stable, to be more giving to you too, with the Knight of Cups. But I also feel like people see that maybe you don't have this energy of like talking smack about the people that have hurt you, because you healed yourself with the star card at the back of the deck, but you still carry that big amount of love within you. I feel like your heart is as deep as the ocean. And that's what people see and find very intriguing. But also how you've just shifted your energy. And I feel like you're also very playful people. You know how to see the light-hearted energy in all of this. And that's something I see here. So you also never let go of hope of finding true love around you, of finding your people that are actually aligned to you. And people find that very intriguing too. So before we end off, I'm going to tell you the tarot decks and oracle decks here. So the tarot deck we have is the Ethereal Visions tarot deck. This one here. Okay, and then we have the Messages from Mermaids oracle deck here. We have the Beyond Lemuria oracle deck here and the Starseed oracle deck. And then we have the Goddess Guidance oracle deck, and we have the Vanessa tarot deck. So these are all the oracle decks and tarot decks I used. That was your reading, my pile 3s. I really hope that this reading resonated. If it did, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I can't wait to see you in my next reading. Bye!